All right. So let's dive into a little bit more of that first step. So we kind of had our high level. What does it look like to plant it? What type of equipment? What sort of processes? Do you want to jump in? You want Jeff to?
I would say that's
Jeff. Why don't you take the stage there?
Yeah, I think anything that puts the seed into the soil, good seed to soil contact works. We've had anything from press drills to planters. Air seeders is the most popular mode of seeding in the Western Canada. Ourselves, we have an 80-foot Burke air seeder we seed with. We can, the technology now is we can fine tune it to, eighths of a pound of seed at a time. So it's very accurate. Seed packing. The biggest key I would suggest is depth. Don't seed too deep. Hemp's a bit of a baby to establish. I think for those that have grown it know that you got to kind of baby it a little bit. If there's moisture there at a 1/2 to 3/4 inch, put it on that. It'll pop out of the ground in 3 to 4 days. Have some packing, but not too much packing. We've seen instances where in-row packing has been a detriment. That's increased the seed mortality. So more issues like that than the actual planter itself. I've seen people broadcast hemp in wet conditions and then harrow that in. Has worked also, but the seed's expensive. As a seed provider, I'll acknowledge that. And so we just got to make sure that we do our best to maximize each and every one of those seeds growing for us. So again, just about anything will work. It's timing and where we put that seed is important.
Oh, I got a question from the audience.
How important is seed simulation or seed spacing?
How important is seed spacing
Or seed simulation.
or seed simulation? That was from Jason Biddle in the audience.
Yeah, it's not as important with hemp too because it will branch. The internodes get closer together if it has space. So my plant population, I'm targeting usually 10 to 12 plants per square foot for grain production. Probably double that for fiber, just because you want more pencil thin type stalks for better quality. But I've seen as low as 3 to 4 plants per square foot without losing any yield, because again, those internodes get closer together, the branches more, and like soybeans or for us canola, it just produces more seed in that area. The biggest issue there is weed control. If the weeds overtake that crop, then you're kind of hooped. So that's the issue. It's not necessarily the space that's there. So it's not a real super important thing, but we are moving more towards more planter, more singulation, giving that plant the opportunity to grow in that sense. But there's one other thing, I guess, on the grain side of things. If those